Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. Today we will discuss about the interest and equivalence in this engineering management and safety. We expect that after we completing this module, we should be able to describe the interest and its equivalence related to our engineering course. The whole content of this module is based on how we try to verify and analyze the importance, role and problem based on our engineering economic analysis, on how we verify and analyze the engineering economic model, and how we verify and analyze cost estimations based on how we recognize the problem, define its goal or objective, assembles the relevant data, identifying the feasible alternative, and lastly but not least, we try to select the criterion to determine the best alternative. We try to recognize the problem based on our economic decision component. The economic decisions are immediate if we consider, for example, an amount of expenditure. It's about the money, how much that we want to use, or our tax, the money commitment. And we also can see that our economic decisions occur based on a considerable periods of time when we need to consider, for example, our interest or how much money that we can gain, or our inflations, how much money that our value will be depreciated. Why? Because all of our money is affected by the inflation, bond, deficit, economic growth, etc. Let's see the example. In 2018, our value of our money probably is 1,000 ringgit Malaysia. What happened in the 2028? Or we call it as a future value of our money. Can this 1,000 become 5,000? Or in year 2038, can this future of our 1,000 ringgit to become 10,000 ringgit Malaysia? Let's see. Yeah, at 2019, you are the undergraduates of UMP, and then at 2021, you are graduate. You got your first job. Your salary will become 2,500 ringgit. You are now at 24 years old, and you want to buy your first car. So you need to find out 5 to 10,000 as your expenses. And then come 2027, you got your second job. Probably your salary will become 5,000. You want to get married at this year, at that year? Of course, everyone want to get married. So you need another 25 to 30,000 of expenses just to pay for all of your ceremony, your fiancé, your in-law. Okay, and then at 2032, probably you are now at 35 years old. Your salary probably becomes 7,000. You want to buy your first house. Yeah, you need to find out another 25 to 30,000 expenses. So all this will become our challenge in or we call it as our problem based on our time value of money. What is a goal? A goal objective is the standard or expectation we wish to meet. A goal is a general statement about what we expect. For example, how we want to pay all of our bill on time. And objective is much more narrow and specific. For example, we want to pay the auto loan on Tuesday morning at the bank. If we define the goal or the objective based on our difference of missions, objective, strategy, tactic, and KPI, key performance index. Let's see the example there. You start your, you finish your first degree there, let maybe at 24 years old. That's become your first goal there. And then your second goal there is you try to secure your first job there. Once you got your first job, you got another objective there. You try to secure your goal number 3 and number 4 there to become a first professional license. For example, maybe in steam boiler or in steam set or in power plant or in the for your boiler purpose or engine purpose. Or once you got your first license there, you make a decision that you want to climb the organization's hierarchy, and maybe at last to bring along your goal number 6 there, you want to become an entrepreneur. So all this goal is made based on to maximize your saving or your EPF, or we call it as KWSP, kumpulan wang simpanan pekerja. Why you want to maximize this? Because the plans of each of your goals there that bring down by your objective there is you want to retire as a millionaire. Okay, that's the general idea of everyone. You want to retire comfortably, or in the best mode we call it as you want to retire as a millionaire. Let's see if we see all these objective and goals in different terms of missions, objective, strategy, tactic, or key performance index. So let's see what is your first missions there. Your first missions there is having your own car, marrying in 2 years time after you graduate or after you finish your degree there. And then the next goal there to achieve your missions there is to having enough saving to pay for the deposit, the car deposit for example, or for the wedding ceremony for example. You need to having enough saving. So how you want to have the enough saving there? You need a proper objective by having, for example, 6,000 saving in 1 year. So that you got 6,000 multiplied by 2 years time, you will get 12,000. How you want to do that? You need to having a 500 salary deduct monthly. So for each of 12 months, you will get 6,000 in 1 year. How you want to do that? The strategy should be you try to minimize your expenses. Yeah, less expensive. Enjoy for 2 years. Yeah, less jolly there. Less to go for the cinema, fishing. Okay, so what is the tactic there? The tactic is you enjoy, for example, there only on phone gaming to minimize the cost, to minimize the expenses. You also try to utilize the tactic of having a part-time job, maximize your skill, use the public transport, or problem no BFF, so there's no need for you to go for the mamak store. Then you can say that your metrics based on your KPI is you successfully having saving increase incrementally 500 monthly. Information may be published or maybe as individuals' knowledge. We may decide which data is relevant and it will become a complex process. In engineering decisions making, two important sources of data are the organization's accounting and purchasing department. Let's see one example. We try to know the economic analysis of how we want to process a copy there. Either use our insight or we use the outside suppliers. It is used for the large company. We want to compare between the inside and outside printing. Which department requests this information? This is come from the shipping department. The affected unit will become the printing department, because the printing department will become the department that print all the copies there, and the supplier should be the outside printer. The requirement for this marketing is around 30,000 copies. If we compare between this apparent cost there, we will see that if we make a copy of 1,000 compared to a copy of 30,000, copy of 1,000 is come from our inside capacity, and copies of 30,000 based on our outside supplier there. We will see that our direct labor, our materials and supplies, and overhead costs will become differ. It's totally not the same. If we make a copy of 1,000 there, our direct labor is 7 ringgit 60 cents compared to 228 ringgit per 30,000 cost there. However, if we use this data there, we make a comparison based on our direct labor, material and supplies, overhead cost to become our total there, we see that cost per 1,000 will become 26.45 ringgit compared to the cost per 30,000 there. We will use 793.5 cents there. However, if we compare between this 30,000 to the 1,000 cost there, we'll see that we can make a saving of 111 ringgit there. Of course, the unit affected will become the printing department. The best alternative should be implemented. Occasionally, this is to maintain the existing situation. Alternative is considered that should include both conventional and also innovative approach. So, for example, that we see that people try to make a lot of startup activity. They try to sell the idea, and how they try to sell the idea is they try to plan something. And of course, once they plan something there, they try to utilize how good is the strategy there, so that the strategy can be marketing. And then once we know that the product can be marketed, we want to know what happened to our cash flow. Those we call it as the financial situation step. And then we'll see, we want to know either we realize either it can be as successful or not. So alternative means we need option to choose. Only a feasible alternative should be retained. We will continue next.